Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's discussion on Afghanistan, its evolving political landscape, regional implications, and the pathways forward one hopes to stability and engagement. And we're honoured to have four distinguished guests, each bringing deep expertise and unique perspectives on Afghanistan's governance, security, and regional dynamics. Let me introduce them to you, after which each of them will talk for about 5 minutes or so, and you, the audience, will be able to ask questions at the end, but please do post any questions that you have in the meantime. Dr. Niloufar Saki is a scholar of security and peace, specialising in regional, transnational, and human security, peacemaking, and conflict resolution. She's an associate research professor of international affairs at the Elliott School of International Affairs at George Washington University. She also directs the Andiana Foundation, a public policy and research organisation focused on peace and security. Additionally, she's a non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. We're also welcoming Mohsin Dawar, a former Pakistani parliamentarian, a human rights advocate, and one of the most prominent political voices from the former Fatah region. He's been a consistent critic of militancy, a vocal defender of civilian rights, and an important commentator on Pakistan's evolving Afghanistan policy, especially its impact on border communities and regional stability. Hans Schindler is a co-director of the Counter-Extremism Project think tank and an expert on counterterrorism and international security. He's advised global bodies on sanctions, extremist networks, and the regional security environment surrounding Afghanistan. Kabir Taneja is a researcher and analyst with the Observer Research Foundation, focused on foreign policy, security, and extremist movements, particularly in West and South Asia. His work examines technological, ideological, and geopolitical trends shaping Afghanistan's future. And Ambassador Asif Durrani is Pakistan's former ambassador to Iran and the UAE, and a seasoned diplomat with long experience in South Asian and Afghan affairs. His perspective on regional geopolitics and diplomatic engagement is invaluable. So together, our panel will explore Afghanistan's current challenges and opportunities, from humanitarian and human rights concerns to regional security shifts and diplomatic strategies. I'm delighted to welcome all of you, and I look forward to a thoughtful and constructive conversation. Thank you all once again for being here. But before we begin, let me offer a brief overview of where Afghanistan stands today and the questions that are shaping our discussion. Afghanistan is now more than 4 years into a political and security landscape defined by the Taliban's return to power in August 2021. The humanitarian crisis is one of the world's most severe, with many millions of people facing food insecurity and minimal access to basic services. At the same time, questions about governance, human and other fundamental rights, economic sustainability, and international recognition continue to evolve in complex and often contradictory ways. Regionally, Afghanistan sits at the centre of shifting geopolitical currents. Neighbouring countries weigh their own security concerns, economic interests, and diplomatic approaches, while extremist networks, cross-border tensions, and competitive alignments continue to challenge any coherent regional strategy. International actors, meanwhile, are still searching for, and as we know, some are finding, avenues of engagement that purport to balance humanitarian imperatives with political and economic realities. So against this backdrop, our panel today brings invaluable insight into what these dynamics mean on the ground, how regional policies are shaping outcomes, and what realistic pathways exist for improving stability, rights, and governance, both within and around Afghanistan's realities. So, with that context in mind, I'd like to begin with Dr. Niloufar Saki. Niloufar, welcome again. You've written extensively on human security, rights, and the realities that Afghan people are living through, particularly women and girls and civil society. From your vantage point, how would you characterise the situation today, and what do you see as the most urgent priorities for improving human security in Afghanistan?